G'day everyone, Matt from Panda Garage here today. We're actually doing a car video for a change. I know it's been a very uncar related the garage channel in the last month or two, but we've actually got a problem that's come up and we've now got a solution to that problem. So join me today, we're actually going to be working on replacing a fuel pump in the Vectra. I'll try and go through step by step as best as I can. Shouldn't be too rusty, but hopefully that's not the case. But join me today, Panda Garage. Let's get started. So what we're actually working with today is this fuel pump. Now the Vectra's fuel pump has decided to say goodbye. I think it was replaced about 8 years ago by a friend of ours. Now this one is actually a Bosch. There it is. It's just a new old part for a Vectra. Now you have to make sure you get the right fuel pump for your Vectra, because this one's for a 3.2 litre V6, also a 2.2 litre 4-cylinder. The estate versions of the Vectra, depending on where you are in the world, has a different fuel pump and different location, I think. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, make sure you look up your year and what style of engine you got, because it's very critical when it comes to Vectra motors. But yeah, this is going to be our part. Our pump's in there. I just bought it all as one piece to replace the whole thing. Usually you can buy just the pump, but we're going to go with that. It's got the filter, everything's ready to go. So now we just got to get the old pump out of the car. Okay, so as you can already see, we've removed the seat, but it's pretty straightforward. Just in these front little clips, you just pull it out and it disconnects itself. There's usually this cover as well, it goes across like that. So our fuel pump is located in here. I'll get you guys a little bit closer so you can actually see what we're looking at. But pretty much what we're going to do today is we're going to disconnect these fuel lines. That module clip, we're going to remove this, and then our fuel pump should be inside somewhere. Just before we go forward as well, I just wanted to let you guys know that it's very important, should be pretty obvious, but you've got to disconnect your battery, just so we don't have any issues with any electronics coming on and trying to spray fuel everywhere. So I've disconnected the battery. Now we'll actually start looking at removing these pipes, and we might even just try and knock out the steel piece first. There's like a ring that goes around it, and I think you got to get just a little hammer and screwdriver, and we'll knock that out, and then hopefully that gets us going. Already snapped the end of my nail off, that's a good start. Don't you hate that? The second you start something. Alright, so our module's unplugged. Now I might put on some gloves just to make sure I don't make a mess of myself. So I've got my little, these are like pretty much gardening gloves, but I do have a protective layer on the outside. These gloves are very handy, they're very cheap too, they're just Saxon gloves, I think. So this is our return line on this side. So I'm just gonna try and get this to squeeze. As you can see, I don't really have the proper tools, so I'm sure everyone will let me know in the comments how I don't have the right tools, but we don't have a specialist garage here at Panda Garage. We just have what we got. Oh, got a fuel leak. Well, as long as it doesn't get in the car, we should be alright. So, just a little bit of extra residue. Well, this is the first time I've actually done this too with a with removing a fuel pump. I had an issue years ago on my Commodore I used to have before I started the channel, and that, well, that had a lot of issues, but it, I blew the fuel pump in that, and I just never replaced it because I had my car on gas as well, so I just used gas for the rest of the time I owned it. So it wasn't a bad thing because that car used to drink fuel like crazy, so to have gas in a 5 litre V8 is pretty good. Now this is the line out, so hopefully the pressure has dropped out of it. Otherwise we're copping fuel everywhere. There we go, a little bit of fuel, not too much though, which is good. So that's all done. I'm going to grab a hammer and then we're going to knock this out. So I'm just going to add just put my screwdriver here and we'll just give it a bit of a tap and get that wheel to spin. So it lets go and then we can pull this whole mechanism out. Alright, so I couldn't find my hammer. I think it's in with my camping stuff at the moment. So we are going to just try using a pair of multi-grips as a hammer. Can't say that we don't do it in style here on Panda Garage. So what I've read online, there's not actually many tutorials to how to remove these. Some people break these rings off completely because the way that they grip on. So I mean, yeah, the way it looks is it looks like you're supposed to whack it that way and it's supposed to slide out. It's just getting past all these, I think. I'm sure someone, if you've worked at Holden or Opel or Vauxhall or even Saturn to a degree and you know how these come out, let me know in the comments and tell me if I'm doing it right, because I don't know if I am. Okay, so apologise for the dogs in the background, they're all going nuts at the moment, but I actually got this finally loosened off now. There's this big ring, and really the only way you can get past it is to actually just use a screwdriver, put it sort of in this little flat spot with a hammer. I read online a few little forums, just people how they get these rings out, just not for Vectras but just cars in general, and most people say this is the only method to really get it done. But one suggestion that really worked well for me and I'm going to share with you guys is that you spray every single latch part with WD-40 first and it will loosen up straight away. So now this all will lift out. We'll just get this ring out of the way. Oh, actually, I don't even think we need to do that. So we'll pull our fuel lines out of the way, our return feed, our to the motor feed, however you want to call it. Alright, so there we go. And there is our fuel filter, sitting pretty. So I've got my new fuel filter. It's a completely different colour. Oh no, that actually was white. That actually was white. Look how filthy it is now. Jeez, okay. So pretty much going to unplug this little plug here. Looks like it's a floating system too. So it looks like a sender unit might be still in this thing. Sorry guys, so this is the first time I've done this, so I'm really trying to work it out for myself, but you can see there's three little clips. That's what's going to make this slide out. And then we'll undo the piping, we'll undo the actual sender for it to actually operate the pump, and go from there. So I'll get my little, hopefully this can fit down there. Actually might change to this one. As you can see, I've changed different gloves too. My I just wanted to doubly make sure I wasn't spraying. Oops, don't want to pull too hard on that, otherwise we'll wreck it. There we go. So it's unclipped the actual fuel pump now. I just want to try and It's actually quite hard to get everything to sit, so I'll put the hammer on top of that. Hopefully that will hold it down, even just a little bit. Doesn't want to participate. Okay, there we go. There's our fuel pump. Now we're just going to disconnect our lines, which I think's up here. Don't know exactly how that's going to come off, but we'll work it out. Actually, don't know how this type of clip comes off. No, not that. Unless you're probably getting screamed at right now by someone going, "You're doing it all wrong." But hey guys, we're learning, okay? This is a learning channel, not a smart-ass channel. So I'm sort of able to destroy this one a little bit because I actually do have a new clip to go on and a new pipe as well. By the way guys, if you have not watched Rich Rebuilds before, highly recommend it. I think it's one of my favourite auto channels on YouTube. So if you're looking for something to watch, definitely recommend that because you will get a laugh out of it. But he is very, very intelligent man. But mostly because he's bloody hilarious. There we go. Hey! So I got that off. Now we're just going to pull this off. That will free up. There we go. So that's our fuel pump out. Look, we're tied up against something. I think that's our sender unit. There we go. So look at that. Oh boy. That spilled fuel in the car. Good one, Matt. Geez, you're awesome. Terrible idea. Terrible. Lucky I got this towel. So here we have the two. That's our new pump there. That's our old pump. Now this is a Bosch pump, and I'm starting to notice a few different design elements from this one to this one. Hopefully it doesn't affect anything. Whether or not this was aftermarket, who knows, but we know this one's definitely Bosch. But we'll pop it in the car, we'll plug it in and see how we go. So let's get stuck on that. So now that we've got our old pump out, we've shown you what the new pump looks like. All the clips should go where they belong. That one's clipped in now. Just gonna slide this around everything else. There you go. Sorry guys, hopefully I'm not sticking my big head in the way. So now I've got to get this on before anything else. I want to make sure it's like as far on as possible. Now, looking at these clips, they're really quite bizarre. I don't know how to get it on fully. Okay, so after a bit of a struggle and heartache, we have finally got our piping in. So now we just need to get it all back in the tank. Make sure our rubber ring is sitting in its correct position, which part of it is not. Right, that should be right now. Just going to sit this
top. Alright, so WD-40, definitely your best friend when it comes to this. That's for sure. Oh my god. There we go. There's another. There we go, that's everything in this end. Now we just need to start the car and see if it actually runs. Right guys, that's it for today. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you've got any questions or anything about Vectra fuel pump installs, leave them in the comments below or message me on Instagram or Facebook, the Panda Garage. I'm very sweaty right now, so I'm going to wrap this up. So thank you all so much for watching. Remember to check us out on all the socials, check all the other videos out, and stay tuned for next video. So thank you for joining me on Panda Garage today. See you all next time.